Welcome back, Shop Rats. Today we're back on Fundestruck. You can see that some stuff has happened since the last time you were here. In our last couple of episodes, we got the chassis off the chassis table and rolling around on its own, and we got the motor ham and egged in place. And today, I got the cab on today, so let's share that with you via time lapse, and then we'll pick it up on the other side, because what we're doing today is we're going to clearance the firewall to fit around the engine so that we can recess it and do what we need to do to get the cab to fit properly around this small block Mopar. Stick around. I'm Mike, and you are watching My Car's Shop. This really should go pretty quickly because we're just going to use the plasma Taza and just right up and out and all that stuff. I'm just coming from basically here up and around this entire line over here and down. So this shouldn't take long, provided the plasma cover is going to work right, which is always a crapshoot.
Amazing, it worked right.
You don't have to have a plasma cover, but it helps. All right, there's what we got. A little tight on this side maybe yet, but we'll see. Probably a little generous on this side, but I've got to allow room for a steering column to come through there. So, and the other thing I forgot, the cab is this way. So let's get the cab centered up first, because here's our center, and that's over quite a bit. So let's do that. Then we'll get the cab slid forward. Yeah, much better. Okay, now let's pull it up, get it closer. That's right, I forgot there's, forget where they attach, but there's rods that go from here Oh, they used to go to the radiator. So I'm going to have to make something to hold this up in place at some point. But let's shove this thing forward a little bit. It's got to come forward about a foot. That's probably too much. That'll be perfect. Well, we'll know. All we got to do is, and it smells like that old insulation that's burning smells like weed. Gross. Can't stand that smell. I'm going to a tape measure and then we'll push this back. But I'm really pleased with the way that's nestling right up in there. Our front cab mount that we made, or the cross member cab cross, is now hitting the bell housing, but I'm pretty convinced this is too far forward. So I know this is tipped, like this should be back like this more, but 30 and a half, and the hood is 31 and a quarter. So actually, crap, that could be a problem. Dang it, didn't think of that. It's always why we're doing this, because you got to see what you're seeing so you can see what you got to see. That could be an issue there on our cross member. Oh, but this needs to go up a little bit, and we don't know exactly where the motor transmission is going to be. So for now, for mocking things up, it'll be all right. Let's get the hood on there and determine. We'll know once the hood is on here if this is, where we're at. Yeah, needs to go back because the hood is overlapping the front of this a little bit. So that's good news. Good news, good news, good, good. I was going to say it's too far, but not really, because we still need to. Now I got to remember that cab is also needing work. It's twisted, but so am I. So yeah, I'd say it needs to go back even more. That's a winner chicken dinner. I should take one of my straps, tie around it, but I won't. What are we caught on? Maybe I'm going to need one of those straps. Oh, there we go. Okay, get the other side moved over. Rover. Guess we can shut our plasma taser off. Okay, that's close enough for the girl it's for. Okay, now it feels. I should bolt that center hinge back on there. Now the other thing with this is this could be twisted. I think this is really twisted. Maybe the cab is twisted, because it's this back line here is way off. Yeah, not sure. Well, that makes a difference there, but it's still way off. Oh, fun and games, fun and games. Oh, there we go. I should clamp that right there. And I think I'm going to take a second and put that back hinge mount in. That way things will be copacetic instead of so pathetic. Okay, I've done a lot of horsing around, but I do have it lined up somewhat. Bleeding everywhere. I can't find that back mount. I put it somewhere where I wouldn't lose it. I thought it was in a box that I had back here, and it's not there. So I got to scratch my head on that a little bit and find it. There's several pieces that I'm missing, so just got to think that through. I know it's here. The VIN plate, all that stuff is probably together somewhere. But yeah, the glitch is I've got that hooked on there with a vice grip. I can't really put this side of the hood on there properly with that vice grip there. So I guess I'll take a few minutes and just dig around. It's sort of lining up, not bad. You know, I don't know where we're at with stuff yet. So there's a lot of questions to be answered, but I'll know better once I get the hood on that side. Maybe we'll throw the fenders on. I don't know, but I feel like we're close. The main purpose was obviously to make sure that we got engine clearance, which we have lots of engine clearance. I'm happy with that. And also then we got to start working on figuring out our steering and where that's going to go. So we may need to cut a little bit more over there, but it's a start is what I'm trying to say. So that's a good thing. All right, let me look for that thing. It was sitting in plain sight. It was right on the toolbox. I just didn't see it. Problem with this one is it doesn't really have any way to attach it to anything. Okay, it's what I suspected. So either the nose is twisted or the cab is twisted. I'm thinking the cab is twisted. Of course, so am I. I'm so tempted to run a screw in here, but is there a... Oh, good. It is there. Okay, good. So that rear cab mount is there. Or not cab mount, the hood grabber thingy. I can squeeze it right there with a pair of squeezers. That'll work. I don't want to get too carried away with it, but just to hold it. There we go. That works. All right. It doesn't work great, but it works. Interesting. Now, according to this, the hood is like this. Same thing here. So that means the cab probably does need to come forward a Nova. Of course, we're also making the assumption that our heights are correct, and they may not be. Because the other thing that would is if this went up, that would fix this. So it may be that we need, I think that would fix everything. The back would come in, the top would go up. So the nose is just a little bit low. I'm okay with that. So let me bring you over here and let you see what we got going on. So here's what I'm talking about. You see how we're like this? And I think if that came up just a little bit, I think that would pull that right in. And it's kind of the same thing back here. You see that? That's a little bit tight there, and it's loose up here. Let's see, which way does this cab need to pull? Because the cab is splayed. I think it's splayed. Got to remember. Because the doors are, you see how our lines are down? That's not just hinges, it's the cab itself. So if we were to pull, yes, the front of the cab this way, which is what needs to happen. So the front of the cab needs to pull this way. That'll bring the doors up closer and they'll shut properly. And if we pull, yep, that'll fix this also. So we got a combination probably of that needs to be higher, and the cab, because of the cab being so rotted and we just temporarily rigged it all up, it needs to like this. So, okay, I'm pleased with that. Very pleased with that. All right, let's get some fenders on there now and see what it looks like with the fenders on. It's starting to look like a truck. Holy cow. So we have, this fender is really a problem because it is so bent. It's significantly lower to the ground. Now, I know the truck is leaning this way because I think one of my wood blocks fell out of the suspension, so I can give myself some grace by putting in another, I think it's a 3/4 board that needs to be put in there. But I love it, man. I got so much work to do on this thing yet. But oh yeah, I was going to show you in here where our motor sits now. I don't think that's going to be a problem in interference with feet or anything like that at all. Um, Lots of leg room, and she's short, so I wouldn't want the gas pedals way up there anyway. I'm almost thinking of just moving the firewall back and not bucketing it. We'll see. But I don't think that's going to be a problem by the time we get a seat way back here, you know, with her short little legs. No way you're going to want a gas pedal way up there anyway. She'd never be able to reach it. So I think we're good. Have to compensate for that, obviously, in the steering column. That's going to be an issue. And I don't want there to be 12 miles between where she's sitting and the dash. But we'll sort that out. I'm not going to show you, but you can see the, well, hold on. I'm going to light on. Right down there, you can see the steering box right there. So we've got a clear shot now for that. I'm happy with that. We're not going to use stock Mopar steering connections. We'll get the special U-joints and all that stuff to be able to carry that back like a traditional hot rod. But let's bring you around over here to the front. I think it looks outstanding. This side looks amazing, other than the fender's all beat up. But yeah, it's cool. Definitely got the leaning on that side. So, but the hood line looks good. I don't think the hood is, everything may need to come forward, but like I said, maybe not. When I get this cab twisted this way so these doors line up properly, I think that's the way it needs to go. Yeah, the front of the doors need to shift this way so that the back of it's lined up better. And then that's going to take care of some of this. It may help with some of that. So I'm not too worried about it right now. We're just ballparking it, but it's cool. I love it. Yes. Can't wait for her to get home from work so she can see it. That fender is going to bug me. We're going to have to bang that out so we can get things lined up. And I can definitely see that we're down on this left front. So just probably have to jack it up and stick one more block of wood in there. But you know what? It's not too shabby. Lots of room in there. I'm going to probably make, I'll probably make that cover in here to bolt off so that I can access the back of the motor. It'd be like taking the doghouse off of a, like a Dodge van to be able to work on the motor. So that's cool. But I didn't expect to get this far today. I didn't have a lot of time, but the cab went on just boom like that. I wasn't even really intending to do that. And it just kind of was like one thing led to another. And there we are. So all of this is a bonus as far as I'm concerned. But thanks for joining me today here in the shop. The weather is absolutely hideous. It's pouring rain. But that's going to do it. I'm going to go get ready to start making pizza for my girl. It's Friday night. That's our usual thing. So stay out of trouble. We'll catch you on the next one. And don't forget, because it's important.